Yo, what's going on, guys? So in this video, I'm basically going to be going over the proper way to customize your cars in Driving Empire, since I've recently been getting a lot of comments talking about what is the RGB code for your Diesel Muscle P900, the RGB code for your Koenigsegg Jesko, what kind of rim type did you use on that car, what kind of wrap did you use on that car. I usually get those kinds of comments when I join like Driving Empire servers, and there's a little meet going on right here in the parking lot, you know, stuff like that. So I'm basically going to, oh my, hello, where are we driving, bro? I'm basically going to go way more in depth, because as you guys may or may not know already, I have, what the heck, bro? I have 2 videos talking about the best mods that you could do to your cars in Driving Empire, but this is just going to be more focused on like the customization. This guy does not know how to drive whatsoever. This is like really focused on the customization. So like the wraps, the rims, the calipers, interior. I'm going to go ahead and suggest the best RGB codes and what I strongly suggest for all of you to use when you're trying to spec out one of your cars, so you could have a really good looking car that stands out in a car show. So yeah, let's not waste any time and get straight into the customization. So first I'm going to talk about what you shouldn't do. So let's go ahead and use like a, I don't know, a 1718 Boxster. Yeah, sure. So a lot of times, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys like a flash color warning real quick. A lot of times I see cars with these bright, outrageous looking colors. These do not look good, you guys. So I would highly recommend do not use any colors like in the middle here. Always go more on the darker side or on the lighter side for your cars, instead of these like middle, I don't even know, like there's light and then there's like subtle light, you know what I mean? So yeah, I don't, this is not bad, but like come on, this just doesn't look good. All right, so please do not use those, you guys. It doesn't look good. All right, and then for secondary, like I see a lot of people messing around with the colors as well over here with bright colors. That doesn't look good, especially on a roof. Like, why would you do that? So just keep it black, or I don't know, match it up with the primary color that you have on. Never, and I mean never, color your interior to a bright color, like unless it needs it. Like, I don't know, like a Koenigsegg or a Pagani or an SSC, you know, cars like that are hypercars. It could look good with them at sometimes, but nah, it doesn't on this, for example. All right, so don't do that. Headlights, please just keep it white, unless you have like a car that looks good with yellow headlights. Sure, by all means go for it, but like red, blue, green, all these other colors, it's just unnecessary, so don't do that. Calipers, now if it is necessary or unnecessary, whatever works with kind of the customization you're aiming for, don't use bright calipers that stand out, because you kind of want everything to look subtle and blend in with the car, if you know what I mean. All right, you guys? So yeah, just don't use bright colors on the calipers. License plates, I would highly recommend just focusing on the US one, and then at times you could use Canada if you like. Don't go with the Driving Empire custom ones. This just doesn't look good. And then Japan, why would you put a Japan license plate on a German car? Okay, my car is beginning to float up. And Canada, like, yeah, that could look good at sometimes. All right, can this stop? All right, I guess we're just gonna do a video like this. All right, and then wraps. So for wraps here, I've talked about that in the best mods video, but I'll go ahead and talk about it again here. So let's say the Mercedes Speedster, this is an off-sale vehicle, and that's where you could kind of see like all the wrap customization options here. There is a bunch of wraps in the game. Please do not use any of these, like bumpy carpet, mistletoe, Driving Empire, no wrap. Okay, sure, that might look good. Ice camo, like rust, cardboard, circular wave. These are not necessary. Do not use these. These are not pleasant looking, in my opinion. All right, unless you use the Galaxy wrap. That's like the best wrap in the game. I'm kidding. That is not the best looking wrap in the game. That is a joke. All right, you guys do not take that literally. And then rims here, I'll go ahead and show you, because this is the off-sale vehicle, and it's probably going to show me like all the rims we currently have in game. So like, I don't know, right here, do not use Halloween rims or Christmas rims, or you know, any of these childish looking. Okay, my car is beginning to float up again. It seems like it does that when I say childish. Do not use these weird looking rims. Like, I don't know, bro. It's just like, these aren't even bad, but like, you know, come on, don't use the wrong rims. Like, what are these, bro? And then there's like, bro, what is this? Why would you use this? And now we just have the underglow and nitrous effect. All right, you guys, so for nitrous effect, I know it may be tempting to use these weird ones, but please don't. It's not necessary. It doesn't look realistic whatsoever. Stick with standard, fire, or the NASCAR ones. This is probably my favorite one. The NASCAR nitrous effect looks really good. It's called Tricolor Boost. So if you have that, by all means, go for it. It looks really realistic. All right, and then for underglow, guys, why would you use this? It's just, it's not cool looking. Maybe on like the right looking car, it could look cool, but for a 718 Boxster S, it does not. All right, can this thing stop floating? All right, so there you have it. Those are the things I would recommend to not do when customizing your cars. That is like the incorrect, the non-proper way. So let's move on to the actual way. All right, guys, so here we are with what seems to be like a fan favorite car that a lot of you enjoy. This is the Di Tommaso P900, and I got a lot of comments asking for the RGB code and like stuff for the interior, the rims, calipers, I don't know, just stuff like that. So this is a car that I'm going to talk about that looks really good and has a lot of good mods and customization options I've done to it. So obviously, let's start off with the calipers. Why not? Let's go left to right here. I would go with black or white. Most of the time, those are the best calipers that go with any car. Or at times you could use like a gray, or you know, this is like a darker, no, sorry, a lighter black. But yeah, those are the colors I'd really focus on. Unless you have a car that like just matches up with the whole, you know, colorway, sure, go with it. Like, I don't know, you could go with a navy blue here. Like, okay, cool, I guess. But I say this just kind of blends in more. All right, and then headlights, I've already went over that. Please keep it neutral, have it white, all right? It just looks best white. Wraps, there's a reason why these are in the top 3. You have matte, metallic, and polished. All right, guys, I usually use the metallic or polished. I think those are just the best looking. No wrap is also okay. It just depends on the car once again. All right. And then for rims here, most of the time since we have like full-on licensed models now in the game, usually stock rims don't even look bad and they fit really well. Unless, you know, you want to use some other rims, sure, go for it. Like, I don't know, what are some good looking rims here? These are really popular. Where are they? Like the Pagani rims? I think I passed them. Yeah, right here. These look good. Like, I would not personally use it on this car in particular, but like a lot of people use it on Paganis or other cars. And then interior, keep it neutral, once again with the headlights. So, you know, have it blend in. I have it with this like chrome here that matches up with this stripe. So it looks good, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and suggest some RGB codes later on as well. But if you are interested in like this black here, it is 40-40-40 all across, all right? Now for paint, like I said, I would focus on colors that are a little bit over here or over here. I think that just looks best in my opinion. So yeah, that's what I would focus on. I would highly suggest that. And then obviously, like, get some inspiration online. Find RGB codes online that look interesting or appeal to your eye, you know? Like, I don't know, find or just search up unique RGB codes and then use one of those. It could look good, who knows? And then nitrous effect, like I recommended, guys, use this one. It is the most realistic one. At times, you could use the standard one since it's... Just use the standard one. It looks good, alright? That is usually what I see, but this one looks really good as well if you kind of just want to drive around, cruise. It looks really realistic, alright? And then underglow, don't even bother using that. So you could see a lot of less things to worry about rather than making your car look wrong or just really weird looking, alright? So yeah, there you have it, you guys. Alright, let's go see some cool rim RGB colors or codes. So one that looks really good, if you're interested in a gold, it would be this one right here. So on this TVR Sagaris, I talked about this in my best mods. The RGB code is 150, 113, and 0. If this is a gold you would like, I would strongly suggest using that. Here's the reflectance on that. It looks really good in my opinion. And if you are interested in this interior, it's kind of like a, I don't even know, not really a beige, but 160, 132, and 79. Now, if you are interested for a beige interior, which looks really good on a Regera right here, this looks really good. I am a fan of this. I actually got this from someone in a server, so shout out to them if they are watching this video. It is 255, 241, 220. So yeah, that looks great in my opinion. And then you can see the calipers are in this white, a darker color, secondary, a little bit of a lighter. It just matches up. Very similar to my Di Tommaso P900 spec actually right here. So it looks clean, all right, you guys? And then let's go with a brown. Sure, why not? The 918 Spider has a good brown RGB code. I'm just trying to focus on, or guess to be honest, what you guys would like. So 188, 158, 130. All right, you guys, that is the RGB code for a nice looking interior. Now here's an example of me using different colored calipers. Now what is the reason for that? Like I mentioned previously, if calipers match up with the color in, you know, the rest of the car, by all means go for it. There's nothing stopping you guys. All right, and obviously the reason I did this is because the outline. So right here, the 918 Spider, E-Hybrid, it matches up. Okay, rims. This is kind of like a, I don't really want to say silver, but more or less like a gray, 90-90-90. So that looks great. And then same thing applies for literally the interior. 90-90-90 is about a light gray, and anything below that is more or less like a black or a little bit of a lighter black. So yeah, 40-40-40 looks really good on my Venom F5. That's just like a black if you guys want to use that right here. Yeah, that looks good. I don't know what's going on here. It's like a green screen kind of effect thing, or like an overlay that they forgot to remove the colorway. Why do I keep getting Discord messages, bro? And I think that's literally about it. Like the RGB codes all apply for the rims. I'll just go ahead and go off of them in the top of my head here. So if you want white, obviously go for like more of the 200s, or like, I don't know, anything like below 200 should look pretty white if for whatever reason you want to use that on a certain car. Now obviously black, like 40-40-40, 50-50-50, 60-60-60 is kind of approaching like a lighter gray, you know, stuff kind of towards that. And yeah, interior, I would always recommend to just either go with, you know, mainly black. Beige looks really good if you're kind of debating if you should go with a white or black. White obviously also looks clean, and then brown if I haven't mentioned that already. So yeah, that's about it, you guys. It's a very simple kind of thing. It is not too hard, it is not overly complex, and it is much more, you know, careless to say, oh, I need to do all these customization options on a car with all these bright colors and stuff. You do not, you guys. I think the main problem when customizing a car is a lot of you either overthink it, so you know you use these brighter colors that might look like it stands out, but it doesn't, you guys. Just keep it simple. You don't have to be overly complex. And yeah, that's basically all I have to recommend. I'll go ahead and leave some stuff in the description if you are interested with the RGB codes and some other stuff I might have missed. And yeah, that's going to be the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to join my Discord server if you haven't already. Subscribe for the latest news and updates. And bye, guys.